Very good morning. You're watching the Kokoliriko show on West Nile Television. My name is Federick Dramadri. Today is the 5th of December 2023. We're back into the studios and also discussing pertinent issues that are happening across the world, and also regionally we come locally, and this is what we are always doing here for you every morning from Monday to Friday. Today is the second edition of the show, and I'll be taking you up to the hour of 9 a.m. and you realize that at 9 you will be having the news in Lugbarati, but also many other programs will be proceeding from there. But first things first, we say thank you very much for those of you who are able to catch up with us right now. But those of you who are still moving for work or preparing yourselves, you can just go to your phone and search on your YouTube, go there and get the Kokoliriko live, and you'll be able to actually access whatever we're discussing here. You'll be able to watch it and also be able to comment or really share your thoughts about what we are discussing, so that it contributes to the developments, or really making sure that people are able to get the best out of what you will be thinking about what we are discussing here. Remember, the 16 days of activism still continues. Many actors are talking about the issues of child marriage. So what is it that you are doing at your vicinities really to ensure that the girl child or the boy child is rescued from this situation? Remember, we have seen a lot of young boys married off by old women, and also young girls married off by old men, or sometimes the children marry themselves. So what happens? What is it that the communities are doing in order to really ensure that all this is actually sorted out and the children really grow very well, so that we have a brighter future for Uganda? Uganda really has a number of people who are still young, so for them to really grow very well, we need to actually impart a lot of knowledge and also make sure that they are able to grow very well. This can only be done when we collaboratively work together. But also many other things. Those who are watching us from Arua City, we say thank you. You are most welcome, and you should be able to really follow us up to the dot, and also be able to share with us what is actually happening, and also what you feel like the city or the town should be like, because this is a regional city where all the districts within the region look at or may be able to benchmark for development purposes. So this is where we should be able to really do the rightful things for others to learn from, and also the issues of arranging the town, organizing it in the best way is a very good thing that we should be able to really all focus at, to avoid a mess or development of slums in most of our areas. But also many others who are watching us from Arua district, those from Terego, Madiokolo, Maracha and Koboko, we say thank you very much. And then those from Yumbe and Obongi, we say thank you very much. And also Jumani Moyo, we are not forgetting you. And then those from Pakwach and Nebi and Zombo, we say thank you very much for already waking up with the Kokoliriko show. And also those from Lango and the social regions, we welcome you to the show. And those from Eastern, we say thank you very much, especially those from Soroti City, we say thank you. And we have seen a lot of developments are taking place that side. We appreciate you for that intervention, and also really making sure that our people are able to get to benefit from various programs from government. But also the cattle rustling that we have ever seen, and all the issues of illegal firearms coming into the eastern part of Uganda, that is the Soroti areas and also many other districts that side. We share really people need to continuously collaborate with the security in averting such cases. But also those from Busoga South region and then the greater Kampala metropolitan area, we say thank you for watching this show. But also not forgetting the friends and colleagues from Hoima district, the Hoima city, which is described to be one of the underdeveloped cities. Please do it for the betterment of the urban centers. We should be able to see that all these regional cities grow, and also they are able to actually shed light for Uganda to shine. As a part of Africa, we need all those kind of things, and really be able to tap a lot of resources from outside, because really if we are locally organized, we'll be able to attract a lot of investors or people who will be ready to develop our areas. Maybe I'm not alone in the studios. I'm with Peace or Chuck. Peace, I don't know why you are laughing even.
I was waiting for the other name. Officially, you failed to go.
That is, now I'm still continuing.
No.
So
I thought maybe you are starting from that side, then you come to this other one.
okay, that is AKA Jalusiga, who comes from the greater Arusha region, maybe. Yeah, yes.
From the greater Arusha region.
Yes, but he's one of the serious journalists we have here on West Nile TV. He does the Lemangia show, that is the news in Eluru. For those of you who do not know, he is the one. So we'll be taking this up to the end with him, and also maybe Peace, your version of the local happenings. What is happening in town?
Thank you very much, Federick, once again. Before even I go, allow me to say good morning to all the viewers of the West Nile Television, specifically the first show of the day, that is Kokoliriko. And I hope they're having a beautiful day, as long as they're going to do your work. And you know, it is a period, is a festive season whereby we saw a lot of, that is population, increase in the population. Students are now back home. All the, let me say, all the learners are already home. They have increased on the population, and that thing is called for, that is parents' responsibility. That is one thing I've been seeing through. Some of the children are already going astray. They're already going wild. They're doing something which is not expected out of them. So that is one of the things. And also, still within the community, as I've asked, still with the population, we are seeing visitors arriving from different parts of the area. We are seeing now it is urban, rural migration. People are migrating from, that is, city to the villages. And one thing I like with it, it is we people from the village, we are the one directing them, because in villages we don't have, that is, enough the standard facilities. They will ask you, where's the toilet, how do you use this latrine? So we are providing for them lights. That is one good thing I like. So that dropping down, and that's one of the things which is happening. Plus so many others, so many others are happening within the place, and also we shall be going through them when the right time comes. But for now, those are some of the few highlights.
Okay, there's something unique that I witnessed yesterday as I was going back from the Nile cast. I reached around the Diofe Boys Primary. So there's a very big tree there, and this tree is by the roadside. And there's a guy who was, I will say dating, okay. I was dating a girl, and this girl should be around 14 or 15 years, and then this boy should be around 16 or 17, around there. So the boy was standing by the roadside, and then the girl was hiding behind the tree. Now when they want to talk, the girl will peep like this and communicate.
She doesn't want to come openly.
When somebody comes around, they keep quiet. You see? So I was just thinking around, what could be the issue? Why is it that children have taken this to their maybe their daily activity, to do things like that? Why is it that really they feel and this girl was put on a school uniform, unfortunately a t-shirt of a private school here, and the boy was putting on a jumper. They were there talking. At some point when the boy talks, I was observing them from afar before I reached closer to them. When the boy says something, the girl bends down and turns the face, the other side starts to laugh.
Doesn't want to answer.
Doesn't want to answer direct. Doesn't want to see the boy direct, but was hiding under the tree, just from the size of the tree. And I was just seeing from afar. Now when I wanted to bypass them, they started. The boy also started moving the other direction.
Also hiding there.
Hiding where the girl was. So that is one thing.
Maybe
the children, first of all, what I observed from there is the children know that what they are doing is wrong. But there's somewhere they keep convincing each other that we could at least do something. You see that? So as elders, as maybe communities, we have a lot to do here. But from that, if you just kick a leg and say, no, you children, what are you doing here? You see them running.
They'll even take off.
Just take off. But, so that is no.
But you also, why did you decide to keep quiet? At least as a senior citizen.
No, I wanted to see how far they will go, and to see. I wanted to actually first listen. Whether they're discussing something that is very important, but when I rest in here, they reduced their voices. Actually, the volume went mute.
But how can you discuss something important at that time of the night? And also, you're standing, and someone is hiding around. Maybe you could say they were discussing maybe something concerning schools. But mostly those things are discussed when you're in classes, when you're in an organized place. So you're standing by the roadside.
But they were not even carrying books.
No. So the discussions doesn't mean that you should be carrying a document. They are from the brain. You discuss those important issues.
What is that important thing that a child can discuss?
Like probably.
Really?
How did you experience the school, maybe during school time? How was your experience?
I remember when we don't carry books. What we are discussing is awkward things. No. Especially in those beaches where we will sit, we will name maybe a said as a beach, and we are there discussing things that are not even academically related. So I don't think a child will be discussing something which is very important when he or she is not really focusing on education. But away from that, peace. We have a lot of topics that we'll be discussing with the people outside there. The first issue is from the region, that is the upper land conflict. Who is actually behind this, and also why is it that government has failed to rule all over this issue? We have seen a lot of people dying all over, and also really so many things happening there. That's what we'll be focusing on, but also looking at the issues of environmental degradation. We have seen the forest that is nearby the upper land, that is the Zoka forest, is coming to extinction. We will say it has actually really seen its dented state, and this has actually caused a lot of civil society to come up and say a lot of things, but many of them have actually explained that they are feared for their lives, and that's why they have kept quiet. You have not seen for the past 6 months the discussions about Zoka forest not coming, not even K forest, they are not coming. Why? Because really many people have been individually intimidated. By who is unknown. Now we'll be discussing that, but also many other issues. We have seen a ban from US Embassy saying that government officials, especially in Uganda, will not be allowed to go to US, and there's visa restrictions and also ban on their movements to US. This is stemming from human rights violations, and also the issues to do with the infringement, and also many other violations that they have cited. They have said actually there are a number of groupings that have been really marginalized in this country, and also some people being abducted is something that they don't actually really side with, and that's why they are saying they don't want to see any of those targeted government officials to actually reach the US, the United States. So that's one big issue that is actually happening there. We have seen Forum for Democratic Change as scheduling a 15th of this month as the date for elections. So from the start of this weekend, they will be starting the grassroots elections for their flag bearers, and also that will be followed by the delegates conference on 15th. So that's another issue there that is happening. But also away from Uganda, we have seen a lot of accusations already coming. Sudan, that is the Greater Sudan. Sudan has actually accused the United Arab Emirates of fueling the conflict in Darfur. Okay, and this is actually cited in one of the write-ups by an international media, that is Reuters, talking about the issues to do with some of the government officials accusing the United Arab Emirates for supplying the rebels with weapons. That's one big issue here that is happening in Sudan, but also in our neighboring country, that is DRC. There are issues to do with the withdrawal of observers by EU, that is a European Union, from Democratic Republic of Congo to participate in the elections. So the withdrawal comes shortly after the killing of one of the lawyers of the opposition candidates, that is during the campaigns. And remember, there was last week a scuffle that happened in DRC, and this really resulted to death of one of the lawyers of the opposition candidates. And that's where really the EU said, actually, this is going to be a violent kind of election, that they don't want to see their nationals or the observers that will be assigned to be really victims of such circumstances. And also that is another big issue there that is happening there. But for those of you who want to really follow up on some of those issues that we'll be highlighting, we may not discuss all, but it's for your benefit to really understand what is actually happening across the world, and also what you could be able to really share with many other passions. Let's take a break from here. We'll be coming back shortly and take on with some of the issues at hand. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Tap your family the bigger feast this Christmas with StarTimes upgrade to Kongere promotion. Nova customers on satellite decoder simply pay 20,000 shillings special bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy smart bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boing, series on TLC and Star Life. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that break, and earlier on I gave you highlights of issues that we are going to discuss here, but first things first, we're starting from home. That is in Ajuan district, where really thousands have been evicted and 6 were confirmed dead, and additional 2 have been discovered to be missing. So that is one big issue there. Remember yesterday the 4th Division commander, that is Michael Kabango, was there in Ajuman district with spearheading the UPDF operations, and also a number of people were arrested and others are really evicted from the upper land, that is between the Acholi and the Madi sub-region. That's a boundary where really a lot of issues have been coming up, and there were issues to do with who owns the land, and also since people were evicted by the army, there was a lot of deployment from 2021 up to this time, and this was at first a zone that was attributed to be for wildlife, and many said no, this was a land belonging to the citizens. And from the background of what the land, actually who owned the land, it was clearly indicated that this land did not actually belong to NFA, and NFA had to withdraw from that land. But also the extension went up to Zoka Forest, which is a national forestry, central forest reserve protected by National Forest Authority, that is NFA. So it is NFA in charge of Zoka Forest, but the neighboring areas of Apa are actually community land, and this is where really the boundary is supposed to be demarcated by government. settlement, because many people found this as a fertile land, a vacant land, and really farming could do well in it. And this really attracted a lot of people who came and really ventured into agriculture and many others. And from the statements from the brigade commander, that is actually from the 4th Division commander, that is Brigade General Michael Kabango, he actually said that people come, or this migration or illegal settlement on a land in every week. Every week they record 100 people who come and settle there. And this is stemming from the conflict. This conflict started some time back, 20 years ago, and it has continued to be. And recently we show the Prime Minister, that is Robin Nambaja, coming to actually declare that actually that land belonged to the people of Madi sub-region, and ordered that those people from Achol sub-region should be given a lot of things like for them to resettle. They were given Mabati and so on, mentioned so many things which the parliamentary group of Achol sub-region rejected, and they said no, they are not going to allow their people evicted from that land. And that has actually left the issue in dilemma. And this actually prompted the president of this country, that is His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, to come back and say no, that cannot be the border between Acholi and the Madi people. And this actually made the conflict to continue, as the status quo was said to have remained the same, or should be maintained. And in maintaining this status quo, people who were charged responsible of this were the resident district commissioners, the brigade commanders, and also the 4th Division commanders, and many others, especially the security committees who were liable, charged to be responsible for this. But in this, we show a lot of events. Things like looting of forest products, talk about charcoal burning that continued, and also we show the issues of lumbering manifesting. This is where the civil society came in, and also many other people were able to come to contain the situation. And this really did not stop there. We show a number of people coming from central part of this country, the Busoga sub-region, and many other areas. Even people from Kenya, Tanzania came and settled there. They started really digging the land, and currently, if you look at that place, which was seen to be like a forest, now has become like a flat land where people are growing crops, and many other things are happening. So we show a lot of tension mounting again when allegedly people from the Acholi sub-region attacked the people from Madi sub-region. This actually resulted into the loss of lives, and also a lot of properties demolished or destroyed. And this is where we are coming from. What do you have to say about this conflict that has continued? Is government paying a lot of attention to resolve this kind of conflict? What about the leaders? How are they united in making sure that this conflict is coming to an end? But also, how do we resettle or make sure that our communities settle amicably? Because really this is an internal conflict between Ugandans, okay? It's just Ugandans who are actually doing all this. So what can we do in order to rescue this? But from the confirmed reports from police, the 3 people who died are from the central region, but also there's one who comes from Busoga sub-region, and then the 3 are the locals, that are the Madi people, and 1 Kenyan and 1 Tanzanian are actually missing. Those are the things that are already on ground that are actually going on. So this, how did these people from Tanzania and Kenya find themselves digging on Ugandan land? How did they acquire the land? This is another issue. But also from the reports or the statements of the division commander, he actually clearly indicated that he has seen that people are renting land for 100,000, like 30 acres for 100,000, and this is is just abuse of really the natural resources that are given by God. And that's why he said actually all of them are supposed to be evicted, because they said from the directives people are not supposed to settle there until the issue is resolved. So that means what is said to be status quo remaining has not been really observed, and that is where really we are coming to. And also, if you don't know the background about this conflict, this is where you are able to get it. And also who is behind the lootings, we show the commander of the environmental police, that is Enoch Abaine, who was the regional police commander for West Nile before he became the commander of the environmental police currently in Uganda. He actually stated that 90% of the officers that were deployed there were actually engaging in looting of forest products, especially lumbering, but also aiding commercial charcoal dealing. And that's why he actually said he has already referred some of the cases to the UPDF to handle, because they already have a list of the officers who are implicated in this, but also the issues to do with the police, they are going to handle it. And that's why they have been able to recommend transfers of some of the officers and to ensure that the forest is actually rescued. I'm not alone discussing this. I'm with P. Shochak. Peace, let me engage you on this. What do you think is actually making this conflict to continue? Let's start it from there.
Thank you once again, Federick. Things of conflicts are always conflicts. As you can even hear from the name alone, it is conflicts, meaning if you are to conflict, there is a big fight between two parties. And here we are seeing guys of Asholi, together with the people of Madi sub-region, they're the ones who are fighting, and mostly it is upper land. But one question, people are asking themselves, was there any boundary between the two people to indicate that this land belongs to these people or it belongs to these people? Because if you are to go through the history, most of these lands, most of the traditional lands, they have boundaries whereby you can say this is my land and this is where your land stops. But we have been saying this thing started way back some years, some time ago, and you have posed a very big questions. What are the leaders doing? Are they engaging the local people? I believe there are some people who at least know the history of the land, that we used to live this side, we used to live this side, and according to me, the only thing, let them first evict those people, all the two from the land. They first settle, they first come to a logical conclusion that this land has a boundary from this place up to the other side. But if they are to make it relaxed, the leaders are not united, as I've said. This other part, they are coming to say, let's evict the people, while the other ones are saying, no, let's leave them to be here. So that is one thing. Unless the leader also comes to unite among themselves, we are going to see that is the conflict in upper land continuing. And one bad thing, it is leading to loss of lives. Today you'll hear people of Asholi have been killed. The next time you'll hear people of the other side, that is the Madi, also being killed. It has become like something tit for tat. It's a revenge, because I cannot also accept that my people to be killed. And what is bothering me so much, we are seeing innocent people. That thing has become now intertribal between the Asholi and the Madi people. The moment they say that you are from Madi and you have crossed to Asholi land, they will look for ways of revenging on you. It is the same when an Asholi crosses this side of Madi. It will also become something so bad, and it may be, they may look at it as being a joke, because things of tribes, things of conflicts, they start small, but at the end they become something so big. We saw those things happen in Rwanda. It's also that is the genocide. Also, it was a fight or a conflict between two parties. Mostly it is the tribal things. So if the government or the leaders are sleeping and they are failing to come up with a conclusion before this thing gets worse, Federick, don't be surprised next time to see that is hundreds of people being killed, and this time you have seen 6 of them killed and 2 are in, they have disappeared. In fact, we don't know where they are, but people are giving their own view. So if these things are happening, and we have seen it is not only between the two people, even foreigners are now getting involved, they're getting engaged. What does this thing mean to the country, Uganda? So if if you can't solve your issues amicably between yourselves, what are the leaders doing? Why can't they sit down? Why can't they involve leaders from both sides of Asholi and Mahdi? They sit down before even engaging the community. They first sit down and select some elders, 1 or 2. They sit and work on the border. Otherwise, if this thing is to continue like this, it will turn up to be something so big and it will go astray. And we have seen it. The owners of the land is not there. You said at first maybe there was allegation that it belongs to NFA, but also they have to withdraw because of leaders giving some of their views, and they withdrew. But now we are seeing a lot of people coming up to cultivate in the land. And trust me, right now, the people who have done farming, all their lives, they are depending on that. And maybe probably if they are to be evicted, if the conflict is to continue, we are going to say that is so much as far as food insecurity is concerned. But one thing, let the leaders first sit down and they look for ways of solving that issues amicably so that peace can return. We don't want people to continue blaming leaders that they have failed. Let them solve it and life goes on just like that. Thank you.
Okay, we've seen a lot of contradictions in terms of giving directives, but also a lot of bureaucracy is seen in terms of implementation of this kind of directives. I'm picking this from the office of the Prime Minister, that is Robert Nambanja, who came here and declared the border clearly. And you see the president coming and saying no, that should not be the case. This is after the parliamentary committee, the Acholi parliamentary committee visited the president with the clan chiefs and also the bishops. So should we say we continue handling issues like that, and that we don't have a lasting solution to this kind of issues and people continue to die? Is that where really we want to go? Really? Peace.
That is definitely
is that the best way we could handle issues? Because really, I felt the position of government was already communicated by the office of the Prime Minister, which was very clear. So you see another party going sideways to meet the president, and the president comes here and rubbishes all those declarations, and you see conflict continuing. Should we? So how should we best really address this issue?
That one shows a bad sign to the country, Uganda. If the leaders are failing to march up, if the leaders are failing to come up as one unity, we all know the president is the head of the state, but what is the role of Prime Minister? The Prime Minister almost, they have the same role like the presidents. Most of the directives being given by the president is being implemented by the Prime Minister. So maybe we could say they didn't sit down together to decide, because if the Prime Minister is declaring this is the border, but the other side, office of the president, is saying this is not things we are supposed to be. The only thing is let them come together, let them call for unity, because for them they may be safe, but people down at the grassroots may not be safe. And the only thing right now, let them find ways of, that is, transferring all the two people, both from Asholi and from Asholi and the Mahdi people. Let them first leave that place vacant. There will be no occupants until it is solved. Because if they say it is for Asholi, the Mahdi people will still come and say, no, this is not the thing. Before engaging people down, you as being people at the top, it is more like you're playing double standard. You're playing you're playing a delaying tactics. You are blaming each other. It's a blame game. If the Prime Minister is saying this, the other saying this, it becomes so bad. Let them first resolve things at the top before coming up to people down at ground level. Let them first agree up. Then they come down and say, this is the resolutions we have come into. And if possible, let them come with the meeting minutes that this thing was signed by the Prime Minister, this thing was signed by the maybe security, this one was signed by the office of the president. They come and read that thing openly to people. This is the final agreement, and we have decided this land belongs to these people. In case you people from this side, you cross the boundary, security is going to take actions. And right now, one thing they should do, those people should leave, let it be under the custody of the state, and let them employ army to keep safe that place. And if you have maybe your crops, you go and harvest, you leave the land for now. That is one thing they have to do if the conflict is not to continue. Otherwise, we may see more sufferings of the people continuing, and it will create enmity or hostility between people of the same area. We are all from the northern part of the country. We are all Ugandans. Why should we continue fighting against each other and we fail to get the motives of the people who are coming with the different opinion? All in all, let them first agree between themselves as being top leaders. Meanwhile, people down at the site, at the scene, let them be evicted and the land remains vacant as investigations still continues, like on who owns the land. Is it for the Asholi people or for the Madi people? That is it, if the conflict is to be settled.
Okay, evictions have continued to be there, and we've seen in 2018 serious evictions were done, and also in 2020 the same. We've seen that when the land is vacant, we see foreigners coming in, people from Central Region, people from Busoga Sub-region, from elsewhere, any part of Uganda comes there and starts farming. So this is one thing that actually nags a lot of the locals who are claiming or fighting over the same land. And for instance, maybe peace, if we are brothers, we have one piece of land that our father left. And unfortunately, let me say, unfortunately he died and did not tell us how which part I should be digging and which part you should be digging. And because of the increase in population, we begin fighting over this land, and maybe because I feel like I'm the firstborn, I claim that this is the land, this land belongs to me. But because you are maybe working, I feel like you should now buy your land somewhere. Don't come even to the village, because for me, I'm a farmer. I now dig the whole land. But because you still need your share there, you will go to court. You see that?
Yes.
Court puts injunction. All of us are not digging. Now you see our neighbor coming to start digging this land. Is this honest?
No, the question
is this the interpretation of the law?
It is not.
And then that's what I'm just trying to bring.
The question is,
yes,
me and you, we are fighting over our ancestral land, but the neighbor is coming to dig through. The first thing you have to ask, who gave you, from where did you get the permission from to come and dig on my land?
No, that is what I'm bringing.
The issue is, Federick,
yes,
if me and you, as being sons of the family, we have failed to agree totally, you don't want to give the land to me, I also don't want to give the land to you, meaning the land have to be declared ownerless, because we can't agree. So if it is possible, let them first get someone. If they are coming with the permissions, they are allowed to come and invest, because you cannot leave a land idle for more than 5 years. Yet
of course,
there are some investors. Yes, there's court injunction, right? But me and you, we have totally failed to agree. You can't. We know courts, they have their own issues. You are causing more backlogs to the court, because your case will continue for 5 years. Maybe as investigations, we are trying to harmonize ourselves on who owns the land. It is allowed for government to bring investors to come and invest. The more they invest, they'll be giving, that is revenue to the country. Income will be flowing, other than me and you fighting over the land, but the land is idle. That thing will not happen. The investors, they have the right to come and invest and bring more income to the country. That things will balance up the economy of this country.
Okay, we will bring this to reality, to the interpretation of what is actually happening between Acholi and the Madi people, but that is what is actually happening. We have seen a lot of transfers of army officers and also police officers in relation to the same case, and we understand whether these were investors or not in the recent, in the subsequent hour we are going to come in. And let's take a break from here. We'll come back from where peace has left. Yes, thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Tap your family the bigger feast this Christmas with Star Times upgrade to Kongere promotion. Nova customers on antenna decoder simply pay 16,000 shillings copper bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy basic bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boeing, series on TLC and Star Life. Even better, we have added all your favorite local channels. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, we're back from that commercial break, and we are continuing with the discussions about the conflict between the Madi and the Choli people, and that's between the Amur district and Juman district, to be specific, for you to understand maybe in local governance where this land called Parland really lies, is where these two districts are bordered, the Amur district and the Juman district, and that is where you really find this piece of land, and it's a very large piece of land where really so many people have actually been evicted from, and also many other things are happening on this same piece of land. We're continuing. Really, I'm not alone. I have peace. Okay, Jalusiga, who is with me, and we are discussing on this issue. Remember, in July last year, that is 2022, the Prime Minister, that is Robin Nabanja, communicated government's position on the conflict and said this land actually belongs to the people of Ajuman district, that is the Madi people, and had actually ordered for resettlement of the people who are from Amur district, that is the Acholi people, and also she actually communicated that most of these people who had actually come to the Par land are these people who were displaced internally by the LRI wars, and also they came to settle there because of the construction of the IDP camps. Okay, these camps were to temporarily resettle these people, but many have taken it that this is now their land, and they have continued to settle on the land, and this actually has brought a lot of conflicts. You know, the issues to do with the increase in population is another great issue there that is actually causing a lot of issues to do with land grabbing, issues to do with conflict and land disputes, and even in homes people continue to conflict. But what is unique now is the fight between local governments is another issue there. So the issue was directed to be enforced, but to the contrary, the parliamentary group of that is the Acholi parliamentary group met President Museveni, who came on August the same year, and communicated that this should not be enforced, and that directive is null and void, and the people should not be allowed to move, or should not be forced to move away from the IDP camps, and they should remain where they are. And that's where the confusion season came, and up to now it has kept the conflict growing and year in, year out. But as officers were deployed to really safeguard that place, to the contrary, some of them looked at the forest reserve as a business center, and many infiltrated the forest reserve and started really doing a lot of logging and so on. Many activities that are contrary to environmental guidelines, the NFA rules, I mean the National Forest and Tree Planting Act, that is 2003, has amended a lot of issues really were contrary. The activities were actually in violation of the guidelines, the NFA Act that was really established by Act of Parliament. So, and this actually resulted into many civil societies, especially the Friends of Zoka, coming out to really mention a lot of things, and also started making noise, which resulted into transfer of some of the officers and a lot of punitive measures taken against some of them. And we show the executive directive that is number 3 coming into force, banning all dealing in charcoal actual forest products, including commercial charcoal trade, and also the issues to do with lumbering that has continued to be there. So the issue of upper land has actually spread into homes, has spread into destruction of natural entombments or the national forests, and also many other things that many could have not seen that we have seen as journalists. So this is where we're coming from. And where we are coming is from the point of killings continuing, and also what can be done. Chalsiga, you highlighted that there are issues, the bureaucracy is actually attached to the issue of love for money, where you see somebody taking advantage, saying that maybe let investors take on. You see that? So
yes,
these genuine investors are looking at the statements from the division commander yesterday, who actually said that these are people who are actually coming and grabbing land. People from Kenya coming to start digging here. People from Tanzania coming to start digging here. People from Busoga sub-region, people from Western, people from Eastern, all coming to dig land here. And now to the contrary is the illegal migration that we are seeing, or immigration that we are seeing, where you see a number of people who are not nationals, or whether even if it's nationals, they are already invading the area. Every week, 100 people are registered. That is what I can quote from him. So what does this mean? Are those genuine investors? Let's start it from there, and we'll continue.
Thank you, Federick. Thank you so much.
Yes.
The question you have posed is a good one. The investors, are they genuine or they're not genuine? Also, maybe before I jump to that one, we all know in Uganda, we're always receiving a lot of reports that is coming from the top offices, whereby you find someone coming with a genuine visa, maybe as a tourist, but the person will stay in Uganda, will relax, even the visa will expire, but the person will still continue staying in Uganda, meaning there are a lot of illegal stays in the country that is Uganda. So the investors, as we have asked, are they genuine or they're not genuine? Right now we can't tell, because who are those people who are giving them the land? And we are saying, they're also saying they are from some unknown people. The people are not even coming out openly to declare themselves that we are the real owners of the land. But right now, we all know that land is still under controversy. We don't have the owner of the land right now, if I may say. And the investors also, what does it also mean to the country Uganda if people are coming to invest? Like you have said, the investors right, but the only procedure is, are they genuine? Are they following the right procedures? Is the government or the authorities aware that there are some investors who are staying within the country Uganda? And we know there's a Ministry for Investment, that those guys who look after, that is the Internal Affairs Minister is there, we have the Foreign Ministry, they're all there. They were supposed to know who entered the country, who is doing investment here and there. The simple example, deep down here at homes, when you have your piece of land, before someone cultivating your land, you as the owner of the land, you must be knowing who this person is because we have been saying, even at homes, there are some fights where we find you renting family land to someone, and at the end, I will come and start quarreling. So, right now, we may say the land belongs to the people at the grassroots. It's the land that belongs to the people of Asholi and the Mahdi. We're talking about people of Amoro and Ajumani. I can't say maybe it belongs to one side. Right now, it belongs to those two people. They are not contented with investors coming up because it is not stated clearly to them that we have brought these investors to come and invest. Maybe with the time after you people settling down, we are going to hand over the land to you. That is one thing which is causing trouble. It is not that the investors are investing. The issue is, are they doing it officially? They're not doing it officially. And what are the authorities doing? Are they aware, that is the various ministries we have in the country, Uganda, are they aware that those people are doing investments? You'll be surprised to hear them also saying, those people are doing illegal investment in the country.
Please, let's be sincere. Somebody calls himself an investor.
Yes.
Really, if you are digging one, we say 1 acre piece of land, and you had there in the garden alone, digging it with a handy hoe.
That is investment.
Really, what kind of investment?
Investment doesn't mean investment. Investment doesn't.
I don't understand.
Investment is not all about wholesale. Even I can do retail. That is investment.
So that is investment.
I can open my shop of around 100,000. I have invested money. You have seen that is people down, the rural women, that are doing businesses. What that is 50,000 shillings is that an investment? Someone is investing. Also, those guys that are digging 1 acre of land, they are producing, that is crops, food crops that will help in fight against food insecurity. But the issue is, are they doing it officially? Are the authorities aware of it? If they are aware, why are they not engaging and involving people down, the local people, to tell them maybe this and this investor? If those people were to come out openly and sensitize the people that we have brought people to maybe live on this land temporarily, as the people you are also fighting or you are resolving your issues, I don't think they will have issues with the people from the other parts of the country. They are people who may be taking care of the land, but also one thing we saw, that is even the authorities that have started destructions of the natural resources. That is one thing which is also annoying the locals, that you have come maybe to take care of the land, but instead you are destroying the land. So that is one thing which is fueling up more and more, because we all know the value of land, traditional in Africa. Even if you have 1 acre of land, that is your richness, because as being Africans, our richness are always in the piece of land, in the resources. So if you're using it, don't misuse it. Even we have been saying, when someone rents his own land or her land to you, the person will give you restrictions. Don't cut this tree, don't cut the other tree. Why? Because they know the value of those things. So if the authorities, the enforcement team are destroying it, they're banning shako, they're doing this and that, the people, they have the right, because as I stated, it is for the people of Asholi and also people of Mahdi, because right now the owner is not there. It is between the two. It is a neutral land, but it belongs to all the two tribes. So let each and everyone who is staying there, you stay. Even maybe last thing, we saw in the Bible, God placed Adam and Eve in the garden, said, people, you can do everything, but this one, don't touch. It is the same thing happening right now at Upper Land, but all in all, let the government come up with something to solve the issues, so that we have to close that page. We close it and declare officially that it belongs to this side, and probably things will match up very well. Thank you.
Okay, please, have not been convinced with one thing, and maybe we have seen in 2020, relatedly, the conflict between Madiokolo and Terego district escalated. Many people were injured with no death registered, and this is around the land in question at Ochea, and this is where really the fight was sparking from the settlement of refugees along the boundaries, and the naming of Rhino Camp refugee settlement in Terego district brought a lot of issues, up to when even some sub-counties inside Terego district were said to be in Madiokolo district. And we show Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development doing demarcations, okay? Actually, that is the reaffirmation exercise, because there were already borders already demarcated a long time during colonial time. And there was a reaffirmation exercise done, and this result was out. There were pegs fixed. And after a few days, when the reaffirmation exercise was done, results were to be disseminated, we show a team of hooligans at night went and vandalized all these things. And then we show another contrary statement that the reaffirmation was done erroneously. And this, I'm relating it to what is happening between Amur and Juman districts. We show the office of Prime Minister saying that land belongs to the people of Juman district. Now the President is saying no, that land does not belong to anyone, but that status should remain like that. So looking at the conflict between the MDAs, and also they talk about the office of the Prime Minister, including the office of the President. What could you really think in terms of really bridging, or really at least bridging the issues in handling matters of this conflict nature? What do you really take from that? And also, what do you think can be really done in order to really streamline the conflict resolution mechanisms in Uganda generally?
I'll stick to one point, that is first, that is evacuating those two tribes, the Asholi and the Madi people. Let them first be out of the land. Let that land be out of bond for all the two tribes. As also people at the top, that we are talking about the governments. The
so where are you taking them? Is there any vacant land that you are going to take people to?
You can't tell me the government can fail to get a land to settle those people.
Sure.
There are vacant lands in this country, Uganda.
So how will they take them? Because if we have failed to even provide transport for the Balalo to go back,
no, the Balalos,
how do we take people somewhere and resettle them?
The Balalos, they have a lot of animals, they have a lot of luggages. So
human beings.
Those are animals. Human beings can easily be dealt with.
Okay.
We saw there are a lot of people who have been transferred, right? Even in Tirandongo, people have been transferred to that side. When there was landslide, that is in Bududa, people were transferred. They have to come up with lands. They're still vacant lands. You go and settle them temporarily, not that maybe for the future, but temporarily you can get land. You take those people, you provide for them all the means of transferring them, then you settle yourself. Before, as I told you, before coming down to people down to say that maybe these lands belong to these people, at the top, have you agreed that this is the information we are going to give to those people in order to fight against that is conflicting loyalties, whereby people may think you are playing double standard?
So who is actually responsible for the issues to do with lands, borders in these local governments? Who is responsible? Is it the office of the President? Is it the office of the Prime Minister? Is it the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development? Is it the Ministry of Local Government?
Right now, that issue is not under one ministry. It is government in general. Because now, if people are using their powers,
this is the problem we have. We have a lot of issues to do with maladministration. You want to move and do somebody's work. See that?
That's what I'm saying.
This is where the issue is. Now, if we have you first listen to me. If we have issues in local governments, it's supposed to be Ministry of Local Government doing this with the Ministry of Lands and Housing and Urban Development, because these are the line ministries that are really responsible to do things in that manner. If you talk about land, this is where you will have surveyors, you will have all those people who have the maps of those lands some time back. They'll be able to at least disseminate this, okay? Now, you have Ministry of Local Government, who was there maybe when they were creating these local governments. They know the boundaries. You see that? So this is where I think the two ministries should be the ones responsible handling these issues, these internal conflicts, border conflicts between districts, sub-counties, and even parishes. They are the ones responsible. But now, if you talk about the conflict between Uganda and any other country, maybe for instance South Sudan, which we have continued to have, maybe that is something of foreign affairs ministry, and also the presidents, the two head sources can sit and harmonize that. But now you have the office of Prime Minister coming, the President is even coming to declare the village, this is not the village at all. But now this is where I have problems.
But now the ministry you are talking about, the land, the housing, the urban development, the what, they are quiet. They are quiet. Have you heard anything from them? They have not said anything about the land.
But of course they have not been informed. If the Prime Minister has taken over, they keep quiet.
They're not involved. But as I've said, those things are under your ministry. No matter how low you may be, you have the power, you have the authority to go and sit with them. If they have failed to invite you, you go by yourselves. It's like families are fighting. As a neighbor, what do? You have to come in. But if maybe the father and your mother, they're fighting, they have totally failed to agree, you as being the firstborn, you'll interject whether they have invited you or not, because you don't know how much influence may be. Like Ministry of Land, for them they have the authority. They'll go and say, you people, we can handle this thing if you can give us this chance. As I've said, you people at the top, you first relax. Let's first go and do the mappings. We look for the boundaries. Then we come with what we have found out with our surveys. We table it. We sit together with you. We discuss and see ways of solving these things amicably. It is not like maybe the moment someone on top jumps in, you have to keep quiet. No, it is not like that, because those things are under your ministry. And what is your role as being the ministry? It shows that maybe you are there just by names. You don't have the role to play. Oh, you're just waiting for orders from above when they said, you go and do that thing. No, you as being under your ministry, you have to go to those people and you sit them down. You say, this is not how we are supposed to run these things. Now, do you want to render us jobless? We have our experts, we have our people. So, all in all, let those people first sit together, minus that is declaring without any clear demarcations. And as I've given an example, if maybe the office of the president said, let's go and plant, that is a border line, we go and put those logs at the border. This is for the surely, this is for the Mahdi. The other office of the prime minister will come and say, you people, you have planted this thing at a wrong point. This is not the border. And again, you'll see the conflicts coming in. Before planting or before declaring a border, you have to sit together, you involve the local people, that have you accepted, have you agreed, this is where we are going to put the borderline. If the people down say, we are not contented, you don't have the right. And that is one of the reasons as to why that thing of the Mahdi, the example you're giving, the hooligans came and removed it, because they were not involved. They didn't agree that we're going to plant it here. You involve them. It's not people to agree. It is people to agree.
No, it is
people to agree.
No, it is they call it what? The GPS.
No.
Which was done some time back. The surveyors did it some time back. So they just fix the pegs where the points have been really seen.
But
so it is to really show. For instance, when you look at Uganda DR Congo border at Operation, if you have ever gone there, there was a conflict between the Ugandans and the Congolese, and the president had to intervene in and directed for demarcation. So the pegs were fixed.
But Federick, before
at those points,
before fixing,
so there's nothing like you ask the communities to allow you to fix those pegs.
The Ugandan government have to sit with their counterparts of the Democratic Republic of Congo. They agreed that this is where we're going to fix. And mostly when you're going to fix those things, you involve the people. That is their land. Because if you don't, the fights, the conflicts will still continue. And that's one thing they have to do. You involve people.
Yes. Okay. Peace. A lot is still being understood in this conflict. First of all, If you look at the hierarchy of Uganda, the president stands out. He's actually the head of state. He's the first man. And if you look at the prime minister follows. Okay, now the ministries and departments and those others came, agencies come later on, and that means this conflict must first have gone through the MDAs. I mean the ministries. The ministries should have first intervened, which they have failed. Okay. Let's be honest, they have failed to do their work.
Which means they have failed for
the ministries like Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development,
they have not
and then Ministry of Local Government. They would have first intervened and come up with those maps, the colonial maps, and say, people, this is what we are seeing here. The people from this side, okay, the boundaries from this side up to this point. That is what they are supposed to do. You are saying they have not failed. Have they ever disseminated this? They have not. So that's one error that is actually causing this. Not until we will have to come with those colonial maps, we will not see this coming to an end. But also the issues of the conflict between the office of the president and the office of the prime minister needs to come to an end. When we are dealing with issues of this nature, like conflict in nature, people are dying and so on, yeah, once one of the or maybe heads has made a pronouncement, that is after thorough evaluation. Let it be. Let it be really at least observed, so that we see calm. Because when that declaration was made, I saw there was at least a ceasefire. There was nothing like conflict again. Not until the parliamentary committee or the parliamentary committee of the Choli group, parliamentary group actually came and met the president. And when the president made another contrary pronouncement, that's when the conflict escalated. But otherwise, things had already gone down. So this is another issue. Mixing directives is a bit contradictory, and also it affects the ruling or the perception of the local people. You know, people believe that once the president speaks, it is the best, or it is the thing that they have to go with. That's why. So that's why he's the head of state. Anyway, we respect. That's why I'm saying. But now, in this kind of situation, allow the technocrats to work on such things. Let's not so much involve the politicians. That's why you see the politicians are making emotional statements, especially the MPs. You have seen what the MPs from Madisa region are stating. You have seen what those MPs from Macholsha region are stating. Actually, they are the most people who are fueling this conflict. They make the people agitated to go and actually attack their colleagues, either sides, which is one thing that is very, very bad. I would maybe say, let the MPs be off this, let the politicians be off this, let the ministries take charge of this kind of conflict to resolve it. You leave out the politicians, so that at least people are able to get the rightful message and also go with those messages. Maybe peace. You're wondering what's on this, so that we really go to another topic before we go for a break.
Simple. The answer and the solution is very simple. Let all the ministries, let all the offices have a sitting, a meeting, be it office of the president, office of the prime minister, ministry of land, ministry of local government. Let all of them have a same sitting. They agree, then they come up down to the people to declare what they have surveyed or what their conclusion is. And as I've said, if those things, if the people sees that it was signed by the president, it is from the office of the prime minister, ministry of land and all other ministries, trust me, that conflicts will be cooled down and that will mark the end of it. But if there are still fights between the top, that conflict will never end. Thank you.
Okay, that is it from Peace, and from me, I want to say really, the politicians, let's avoid those statements that are really fueling conflict. We will never thrive in conflict. Even if you feel like you are rallying people, next time they will vote for you. That is really bad, because we are losing more lives. Going to attack the colleagues from the other side is really something which is bad. because we are the same people, the same nationals, and I don't think really these districts or tribes should be able to divide us. It's not good. And also the ministries, as I said, really need to come down and really do it technically, so that we avoid these issues of people not trusting what a politician is saying, or what they believe. They're going with what a politician is saying. Come with the map, come with all those meetings, have them with gather all the people, and also really have the meetings said with the people, and also the outcome of what you have should be declared when every party is there, and that will be really marking the conflict to an end. But also those who are purported to be investors who have infiltrated these areas be evicted, because these are people who are actually fueling more of these conflicts, because some of these landlords or the people who have been there are picking monies. You may never know. Some of the monies are picked by unknown people, people who are even from somewhere. They're the ones using these monies. So that is something we need to really go by and really harmonize. Let's take a break from here. We'll be coming back with other issues later on. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Tap your family the bigger feast this Christmas with StarTimes upgrade to Kongere promotion. Novel customers on antenna decoder simply pay 16,000 shillings, copper bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy basic bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boing, series on TLC and Star Life. Even better, we have added all your favorite local channels. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that commercial break, and also many issues that we are discussing. Remember earlier on, we took a lot of time discussing the issues to do with the Pollard conflict, what is new and what was happening, what needs to be done. That is where really we wanted a lot of things to be done. But also for those of you who are following us now, you should be able to really share your thoughts and also your comments about what we are discussing. But also, most importantly, tell us where you are really watching us from. It's very important to recognize each and every person from wherever he is. But we're live on Zuku and the YouTube channels that we're here, and also Twitter. You can follow us, including Facebook. That's one thing you should be able to really see us really doing there with you together. We will grow when we really collaboratively discuss together. We can't do it alone as the passions in the studios, but also you out there, you have a say. You can say it on the YouTube channel. We'll be able to project them live and also make sure that each person is able to understand what you are actually discussing or you are having in your mind that you want us to also share with many others outside there. But also those of you who have other businesses to do with the television, you can really come to the television station that is located on Weatherhead Park Lane, room number, actually that is plot number 39A on Weatherhead Park Lane, that is in Arua City, and that's where you'll be able to find this television station, that is West Nile TV, which is well branded from from the highways, you'll be able to see us from afar and be able to be served diligently. But also, if you have anything that maybe you are not able to make it, you can go to your email and type up the address, that is westniletvstation@gmail.com. You'll be able to really chat with the leaders, or I mean the management, direct there, and have your business run here. Those commercial breaks will be able to really have your things said there for better purposes, or for you to really understand. So that's what you'll be able to really get their life, and also be able to get some business, some money from other people somewhere, and also you'll be able to really benefit from that kind of transactions. Remember, during the COVID, people were marketing using digital platforms like televisions. This is the platform where you can be able to show the people outside all across the world what you are actually dealing in. Remember, the issues of marketing is very, very important as far as you are running a business. If you don't have marketing strategy, a very good marketing strategy laid, you will not really be able to move further with businesses. Let's move to politics. The Forum for Democratic Change has scheduled for 15th of this month for their delegates conference, where they'll be able to have the elections conducted. But from the start of this weekend, they'll be also having the grassroots elections conducted from the villages up to the districts and the regions. So that is where really we are going to. What does it mean? We have seen two factions, and this was announced at Nadzanakumpi, but we show a lot of call for those who were dismissed by the secretary to come back, and also they needed to be convinced to come back, and they are actually talking about reconciliation and also forgiveness at the point where really FDC is going for elections. And this is not the only political party that is actually yearning to go for elections. We show National Resistance Movement, that is NRM party, also releasing a roadmap just last month, and this will actually be starting to run this month, and also will conclude next year. And that's one big issue there. Political parties are preparing, and also we are seeing a lot going on. Maybe, for instance, today we are zeroing on a Forum for Democratic Change. What does it mean to the party? Releasing a roadmap, is it that the one at Nadzanakumpi will be the one continuing with the elections, or the Katonga faction will also have to release another parallel roadmap? That's what we're asking for. Maybe peace. Yes. What do you make of this pronouncement yesterday during the press conference?
Federick, divisionism is still on. The two parties, the one party of the FDC, still have the two factions, and even people down here doesn't know where to go, which one to go. Are they all going to use the blue color of the famous blue? Or the other ones will come with their own colors?
Others will come with sky blue, others will come with deep blue.
But the fact still remains that name blue will always be there. Now, where are they coming with their own cards? Because they are very soon starting the elections right at the grassroots levels. They're going to split people down at the local levels, and that is one thing which is still beating up people's understanding. We have one party, but it's having two factions. We have the Nadzanakumpi, we have the other one. So have they dissolved the other party? No, they are still having the two parties. So they will come out openly to declare to people that it is these factions coming, so you also support them. And I don't know if the other ones will rally for the other ones, because they are all FDC. Will the other parties, maybe the other side, say you also vote for these people? If it comes to the general election or the final elections, what are they going to do? Will all the two factions front, that is candidates, to contest? That is one thing. But coming up with the roadmap when they are still divided, though they are calling for themselves to come and unite under one side, that thing will automatically affect, that is, the movements of the FDC. We may say this one doing their roadmaps, but also don't be surprised next time to see the other one also coming with their own roadmaps, and that will means FDC will have to lose the credibility, the visibility in the community. People will lose trust in them, and that's where you will see a lot of people running away from the party, or they will come on their own, or they'll join other parties. So FDC, let them first sort themselves. We know they are left with some few days or hours to start the elections at the grassroots. Let them first harmonize themselves, and they become one party. Otherwise, it will show the sign that they are still not united with the people. We all understand how people feel about two people. Because I remember those days when we were still growing up, they used to say one person cannot use two routes. You want to go left, you also at the same time you want to go right. You will start it very well, but to reach some extent, the road will become wider. Will you split yourself, go the other side, or the other side? You will just stand. So that is one thing which will affect FDC. At the start, you may see people following them, but reaching some level, they will realize that, Kumbe, we have two sides. Where should we go? They'll backtrack, and you find that is the party going alone. It is not good. Let them come up and unite. So that
there's one dramatic question that is moving in my brain, and I'm just trying to ask, have you ever tried to date two ladies? How is the experience? Do they love you the way you feel to be?
By the way, yeah, all the two can love you. They can love you maximally, but the moment the people develop more love for you as one person, what do? You will reach a point whereby the two will collide, and who will get the impact? You be the person, because if the two ladies come up together to find out that, Kumbe, you are saying you love this one and love that one, they will reach a point where all the two will leave you. Who will remain alone? You are the one. So that's the same thing.
Situation our shall break in this.
Yeah, but it is very hard to maintain all the two at the same time. So FDC should also avoid it. Otherwise, they may become a stranded boyfriend or a stranded husband for no reason, of which even you can clear when it's still early. Yes.
Okay, that is a Forum for Democratic Change, and if you look at the party itself generally, this is one strongest political party that was actually opposing the National Resistance Movement, and these are two brothers who are coming from the same. Okay, the two. I mean by brothers, I mean people who were staying together in the bush. That is Colonel Kizza Besigye and His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, who actually said that Besigye was his doctor, and unfortunately he did not believe in his ideology, decided to form another political party, that is Forum for Democratic Change. And this in 2005 I started having that battle of at least having struggles for leadership, because by then National Resistance Movement was dominant, was alone, and also in the scene we show UPC and so on had already withdrawn. So these two were really seen to be the biggest opposition parties from the time go, and UPC has actually continued to surface as a political party, much as they did not submit any presidential candidate in the recent elections. But we're here to see that since the case has been dealt with, we're here to see whether they will be able to really have a presidential candidate. But Forum for Democratic Change from that point came in 2021, submitted Patrick Oboya Muriat. This is after Besigye Kizza failed to actually make it for quite a number of times to lead the country. This is after campaigning for several years and also really failing in all the election results. And this made Power to be the main man in the ring. And recently we show, after just a few months after the elections were done, we show evaluations were done. many people started splitting from this political party, and the result came to what we show recently, where the so-called dirty money that was 30 million was causing a lot of havoc in the party, where some of them said, hey, you ate the 30 billion which was brought by the National Resistance Movement party, and also others were saying, no, this money is not dirty. Others were saying there was no dirty money. So this was where really many people became they started losing trust in the party, and many other things came in from that point. But will still come in. The factions continue to manifest, and we've not seen them really much engaging with the communities. I've not seen in West Nile FDC really doing vividly with people, and also countrywide. We saw in the Acholi sub-region they went, and Teso they went, and also many others, they have not gone. So what does this mean? If they are going to parallelly do campaigns for maybe their leadership structures, how will they be able to really get to the convince the people that this faction is the best one, this faction is the best one?
Federick, maybe in 30 seconds, I will just say FDC seems to be losing it out as far as that is the political arena in the country Uganda is concerned. As I have stated clearly, they used to be the main opposition in all the elections, right from local up to the general election, let me say the general up to the national level. But right now, they're not the main opposition. They were going under some transitions, even up to now, they're still under transitions, but you are trying to harmonize, you're trying to reconcile, to make yourself also being seen by the public figures. And also if these things are coming up, you're fighting among yourselves. Where will you end as being the opposition? Because ever since that is the founder of FDC, Besigye, disappeared from the political arenas, most of the people in FDC, they have failed to understand, they have failed to come to a common understanding on where are they heading to. So if they continue with such kind of things, trust me, FDC is running out of the political ground in Uganda.
Okay, I hope there will be no stories coming like Kantumba Oye and so on. Those fans
automatically they will come. They will come.
Because definitely some of these factions may not feature in the ballots, because really FDC will remain FDC. That's what I know. Since they are also members of parliament, Same Jews are still there. Who else? RS Lukwagos are still there. And FDC show, we don't think there will be another FDC formed or FDC additional.
But they
will not be there. So maybe if some people want to come out, they will come as independent, or they will form another political party. Your final words to the viewers, and also we part away, leave the room for the news in Lugbarati that will be brought by Mokla Lawrence. Yes.
Yes, Federick, we are still on the second day of the week. We have just started the week. It means people should be going out for their different works. Maybe if you're already at your work, you have to stay focused, because we all know we are in a festive season. Also, we need to take good care of ourselves. The security of your own starts with you. It's not the government, it's not someone else. And also, let's try to take good care of the children who have just come back from school. We don't want them to come up with different behaviors, because at school they used to be good people. All those who have been bad as parents, let's give them time, we guide them. But all in all, let's avoid conflicts if we are to proceed, or if we are to attain the development strategy or the goals that we have. People of upper, let them take heart, let them cool down and wait for the final conclusion that is from the top. Meanwhile, those on top, let them look for ways of resolving their issues up, because they said with the fish, once the head is rotten, what do you expect from the other? Thank you.
Okay, that is from peace. When the fish starts to rot from the head, there's nothing like the fish will be alive anymore. And that is it. And from me to you, I say thank you very, very much for really being a very serious participant from the start, and also watching the show up to the end. But also many others who are there outside, let's take up peaceful resolution of conflicts as one of the pillars that we should be able to really prioritize in our lives. Because really, if we are creating enmities other than preaching the gospel of peace, we will not really go far as unity is concerned, as far as development achievements are concerned. Really, we need to preach peace than bloodshed. Okay, that is very, very important. Behind the camera I have Dijon Pro, who is there with the biggest cameras you have seen, and I know you should be able to admire what is actually going on the screens there. But also behind the production room is Aldo, who is seated right away and doing a lot of things there. Up next we'll be having the news with Mukle Lawrence. The news in Lugbarati will come up next, and we'll have many other things coming in later on. My name is Federick Dramadri. I'm out of the studios. Thank you very much. We'll meet you again next time tomorrow.